Hello, it's not been a while. For once I'm not lagging behind with uploads. Yay! Anyways, pardon my voice, yet again, sick. So, if you have known me for a while, you probably also know that there are certain special interests from my childhood I always tend to go back to. One of those is Beyblade. I don't know what it is about that franchise, but it really just tickles my brain. I don't know what it is about these spinning tops, but they just have a special place in my heart. So, today we are going to redesign the Bakuten Shoot Beyblade characters. Yippee! Anyways, like the Doremi redesigns, these ones will be just for fun. Also, no Daichi, I just didn't really feel like doing him. No deeper reason for that. So, let's start with the main guy himself, Takao. Or Tyson, as you probably know him from the dub. I didn't change too much about him. I kept the general color scheme his character had, but I did change the style of clothes he was wearing. I was going for a casual and comfy look, putting mobility over everything else. I decided to give him a black shirt like he has in the first manga instead of the yellow one they gave him in the anime and then later in the manga. I also decided to use a deeper skin tone for him, similar to his season 1 skin tone. I know that technically the later season's light skin tone is more accurate to his manga design, but I like the tan skin. I also gave him freckles. I feel like at this point I am predictable when it comes to that. Also, I changed his eyes back to being blue. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know, for some reason the Beyblade anime like to change eye colors for characters between seasons for no good reason, and it always bugged me, specifically even as a child. The jarring change in art style, no problem. I can vibe with that just fine. Barely notable character design discrepancies, nope, unforgivable, please die. And I would get it if it happened once because of the art style change and they changed studios and everything, or if it was with characters who haven't appeared in a long time, who might have gotten a redesign for some reason or another, but it happened multiple times with the two most important main characters, so yeah. Takao's eyes in season 1 are a violet blue, like they were in the manga. Then from season 2 onwards they are suddenly brown. For no specific reason, even though his blue eyes were clearly a conscious design choice. Kai, meanwhile, has red eyes in the manga, then brown in season 1, grey in season 2, and then they turn violet in season 3. I guess he has colored contacts or something. Point being, it's super inconsistent and there's no rhyme or reason behind it. Both of these characters should have a proper character sheet that tells you what colors to use, but apparently they didn't. Anyways, these days they seem to have settled for red and blue, judging by most recent merch drops. However, they seem to be going for more vibrant colors, probably because it's more popular these days. Okay, tangent over, moving on. I also gave him some freckles on his shoulders and added red makeup under his eyes because I felt that looked cool. Also, it somewhat matches Kai's face paint. Other than that, I gave him some fingerless gloves, a flower necklace as a reference to that one scene in the manga that talks about his late mom wearing flowers, and I added a Beyblade logo onto his iconic hat. Personally, I always felt like Takao was a way more interesting character in theory than in the actual show. Can't really talk about the manga because I have only seen bits and pieces of it, but in the show Takao's most interesting character aspects often got glossed over in favor of letting him fit the stereotype of the fun anime protagonist. Mostly to appeal to the young boy audience they were aiming for. I think there was a real potential in exploring his family dynamic and how he felt about his dad being away so much after his mom died, but they never really went there. Anyways, that's it for my redesign. What do you guys think? Next up, Max. For Max, I decided on casual streetwear. I mostly stuck to the same colors as his Season 1 design, but I did make the green more prominent than the orange. Speaking of, I did change his eyes from blue to green. There I was on a tangent about changing eyes unnecessarily, but I actually have a reason. I felt it looked nicer, and also it made it that Takao would be the only one in the main cast who would have blue eyes, which would make them stand out more. I gave him also a slight 10, and I added a little pride pin with the Beyblade logo onto his outfit. If you have an issue with that, I got one thing to tell you. Skill issue. Anyways, I always liked Max as a character. I think his struggle with having parents who are separated felt very real, and the whole having a mother who has way too many expectations of him hit home for me. I feel like they could have used that plotline to go a bit deeper into everyone's dynamics with their own families. So, for example, we know nothing, we barely know anything about Ray's family. And with Takao, we know that his mother died some time ago, so it feels like there was a very natural connection point they could have used to give those two something to bond over. And they kinda did. They had like one scene where Takao talks about his mom and tells Max that he does understand it, but like it was like a very short scene that never comes up again. Anyways, that's my Max redesign, all done. Next up is Ray. I almost changed nothing about him. I stick pretty close to his original designs. For this one, I only changed a few minor details. I gave him some bandages instead of gloves and added some whiskers to his face. Anyways, there is something I am kind of curious about. To any Chinese viewers, do you think Ray's design and portrayal in the manga and show were offensive? I feel like they very much made him quite stereotypically Chinese design-wise, but he does have a non-stereotypical personality. I don't know, I don't feel comfortable to make a judgment on that one way or another, so let me know what you guys think. Personally, I kind of wish we had seen him in some more casual clothes now and then. Have him wear the traditional clothes as a sort of battle uniform and let him wear some modern stuff while he's casually hanging out with the boys. Like they kinda did that with Kai. He doesn't have the face paint all of the time. Sometimes he's also wearing more casual clothes, at least in the manga. In the anime they never change clothes really. Regarding his storyline in Season 1, I don't really have much to say about it. It's a fun arc, and it introduced some of the most beloved side characters in the show. I felt the romantic subplot with him and Mao was a bit heavy-handed, but it was cute, and it did pay off, since in the manga epilogue of the original Bakuten Shoot manga, speak before they decided to revive that thing because it made them a lot of money, Ray and Mao actually get married and have a daughter named Rin. Fun fact actually, Mao was the first prominent female blader introduced in the franchise. That's also why they named Ilia Mao and Burst after her, because she's the first female blader in that gen to have a name matching Bay. In the last season that was produced by Takara Tomy. And she got a Hasbro exclusive Bay. Burst is fun, but the sexism in that iteration was a lot. Anyways, here's my finished Ray design. Again, very close to his anime design, but I still like the subtle changes I made. Lastly, Kai. For Kai, I tried to find a good balance between the designs we had over the years, while also giving him my own twist. I really wanted to bring more reds into his design, so I added a bit of red to his already very colorful hair and put red on his vest. I obviously added the iconic white scarf and gave him some baggy black pants. But some eagle-eyed viewers might spot is that, yes, Kai is disabled in my redesign. I thought it would be really cool if the whole Black Dancer incident left him with some serious injuries. Hammer home why that thing was so dangerous. So he has electrostatic, which I'm sure breaks very often. Thankfully they do have a mechanic on the team, so really interested to see what's going to be more controversial, this one or the next one. Anyways, when it comes to Kai's character, it's a bit of a mixed bag. You get the sense that the writers didn't really know what to do with him, other than have him be Takao's rival, really. That becomes especially apparent when you find out that the whole Black Dancer subplot was mostly anime only, and that the manga had a very different take on Kai in a whole. So, in the manga, Kai's whole deal is that his dad essentially walked out on them because he didn't agree with how Kai's grandfather ran their family business and didn't want to take it over, and would rather create Beyblades than whatever that family business did. I'm actually not sure. And I guess for some reason that meant abandoning his wife and child. Kai, meanwhile, read this whole situation as his dad choosing Beyblade over him, I guess. And that's why he's like that. There is a side plot that has like this whole child soldier thing with the Russian Bladers, but that's a very separate plot. They are not interconnected. At least not from what I understood. Anyways, his dad does show up in the end again and becomes the chairman of the VBBA. It was a whole thing and jarringly different from the anime. But yeah, if you ever wondered about Kai's family, in the manga his parents are alive and well and get really happy when their son comes home to visit them at their pretty humble house. Also, they have a dog named Hana. I felt that part was very important. Also, Kai's grandfather isn't even in jail in the manga, nor is he even that evil. He collapsed in the V-Force manga, causing Kai to take over the family business, yes, at age 12. Apparently Kai's mom takes care of his grandfather now. It was a shock for me too. Speaking of, the characters are so different between manga and anime, it's insane. Kai in particular is way funnier in the manga. He's way sassier and impulsive and also shows way more of a temperament. Similar to Hiromi actually, who, by the way, just doesn't exist in the manga. They added her as a female character for the female audience to relate to, be in the main cast and everything. They didn't give her a Beyblade, but I guess she's just there. So most of the comedic relief he actually offers in that manga kind of falls to her. It's really funny. The Beyblade anime, honestly, is less of an adaptation of the manga and more its own standalone story. I really gotta read the whole thing one of these days and make a proper comparison. Personally, if I was to rewrite that show, I would try to marry those two different versions of Kai and find some sort of balance. Maybe make it that his dad disappeared and then, like, his mom went crazy and he got put into custody with his grandfather, and that's how this whole thing unraveled. That way you can still have the parents in the narrative and not make it so brainedly ridiculous. Anyways, what do you think about the redesign? I hope I did it justice. That marks the end of the video. So let me know what you think, and also please subscribe and like. And again, check out the descriptions. There are a lot of resources and stuff to help other people in these dark times. Just be kind and have a good day.